Welcome to the next lecture of the discrete mathematics group theory. Today we will discuss some definitions on group theory: homomorphism, epimorphism, isomorphism, and automorphism. So let's talk about these four definitions on group. These are the relations that can be defined on more than one group or on a group itself. So let's start with the homomorphism. Let G and G1 be two groups and f is a function that is defined from G to G1. Then this function f will be termed as the homomorphism whenever it satisfies the condition for any two elements a comma b that resides in G. And basically this definition will be true for all elements a comma b that are in G. So what is the condition? F of a operation b should be equal to f of a operation f of b. So if this condition is true for any two elements that belong to set G, then this function f that is defined in between G and G1 from G to G2, so from G to G1, then this will be termed as homomorphism. A special case of homomorphism is called as epimorphism. Uh, and what is the speciality? That the function f has to be one-on-one function. So obviously the previous condition should satisfy because the primary condition is to be a homomorphism. So once a homomorphism, that is f, which is already a homomorphism, is one-on-one also, then we will say that this is epimorphism. So this is the epimorphism. The isomorphism is another special condition of the homomorphism. So for being isomorphic, it has to be homomorphic. So let's see what we mean by the isomorphic. So a homomorphism f of a group G into a group G1 is called isomorphic if G onto G2, that is one-on-one onto G1. So we have added another condition that with one-on-one it should be onto also. So this will be the isomorphic. So primarily it has to be a homomorphic function, homomorphic uh, relation, and then it has to be one-on-one onto G1. The last definition in the series is the automorphism. So an isomorphic, the special case of the isomorphic is called as the automorphism. So whenever the isomorphic relation is from G to G itself, so we are not including the other function here G1, other group here G1. So whenever the isomorphic function f, which is defined from G to G itself, then it is called as automorphism. So now let's see some more properties of the uh, homomorphic groups. So this is the basic property, the property number 1, that can be defined by the relationship. The two groups G and G1 will be homomorphic. Then, so this is the first property, the image of the identity element will also be the identity element. So the image of the identity element has to be an identity element. So the identity element that is residing in G will always be mapped to the identity element of G1. Okay, so this was the first property. Now the second property, uh, inverse image of an element has to be the inverse element in the same group. So that means if we will take the element a from a set G and we'll try to find out the image of this inverse element into G1, that means we are finding the image of A inverse, then it has to be the inverse of the image of A, and that should be true for all A that belongs to the group G. And the last theorem, the last condition, if H is a subgroup of G, you must have heard about the subgroup, you must have learned about the subgroup in the previous lecture. If you have not learned, then please go back to the previous lectures where I have defined subgroups. So if H is a subgroup of G, then F of H should be equal to the defined. It is defined by F of H, where H are the elements of H, is a subgroup of, it has to be the subgroup of G also. So this is the last property. So if it is a subgroup of G, H, then it has to be the subgroup of G1 also. So the image of H has to be the subgroup of G1. So these were the definitions of the homomorphism, some properties of the homomorphism that can be applied onto homomorphic groups. Thank you so much.